Today I'm assembling another set of cards from the Kendra's Card Challenge 22 using the rugged birthday set from Not Too Shabby Shop. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. Today is kind of part 2 of my set of 15 cards from KCC22 using the rugged birthday collection from Not Too Shabby Shop. I had part 1, which was how I chose and cut down my 6 sheets of 6x6 pattern papers, and then I did assemble sketches 2 and 3 in that particular video. This video I am assembling all 15 cards including sketches 2 and 3. I've thrown those back in here as well, and it is pretty much like full assembly, so me choosing the matting layers as well as sentiments and any embellishments that go on the card. I am doing all of that in this particular video, so it is a little bit longer. I did speed it up 3 times, except for when I was fussy cutting. I did speed that up a little bit more because I did a lot of fussy cutting in this one. The Rugged Birthday paper pack had 4 sheets of ephemera, like cut apart ephemera, and so I did utilize a lot of those as embellishments on my card and sometimes as a sentiment as well, because there was one that actually did say happy birthday. So I did a lot of fussy cutting, so I did speed that up a little bit more, but hopefully it is easier for you to watch. As always, if you would like to speed up my video or slow it down, you can do so. On the screen for your video, there should be, depending on where you're watching it, there is either a more option underneath if you're watching it on your computer, or if you kind of arrow up on your remote if you're watching it on your TV, there should be a settings option in like a little wheel, kind of a gear wheel, I think on the bottom somewhere, and if you click on that, you can change the playback speed and either slow me down or speed me up, whatever works best for you. But one of the questions I get asked is how I choose the cardstocks that go along with my papers that I'm using for the Kendra's Card Challenges. And basically I will look at the set of 6 papers that I'm using and pick out a couple of cardstock color options. So I will go, like in this case, there's kind of like a rusty brown, light rusty brown color that is in a lot of the papers. So I kind of pulled that out as my lighter matting option, but then I will also go with a darker matting option, a color that matches as much as I can, a color that's in the patterns. And then sometimes I will go with a dark contrasting color just so that it kind of helps the papers pop a little bit. So I think in my cards today I have that kind of tan color. I do pull in a craft cardstock because I ran out of that tan. I have this kind of dark smoky blue, and then I also use kind of a darker smokier green. It's like not hunter, it's not olive, but it is like a darker green color as well. And again, just kind of playing off some of the colors that were in the collection. Now, it does help if you are using papers that, came from the same pad or collection, because they tend to coordinate, pretty well color-wise. So that is how I choose my matting layers. I will have each of the sketches that I'm working on as I'm working on it up in the corner so you can kind of follow along with that particular sketch. But on each of these sketches, Kendra gives you individual measurements. And that is for a couple reasons. One, if you don't want to cut down all 6 sheets of the 6x6 pattern paper at one time, you can make like just one card at a time. And so she gives you the measurements so you can cut down the pieces you need just for that card. Or I use it also for when I'm doing the matting layers. So on the sketches, there will be either gray, white, or black, or sometimes all 3 colored matting layers or even just regular layers, if they are gray, white, or black, they are extra. They are not part of the cutting guides. They don't have a letter associated with them. They are free choice. So for the matting layers, you can choose to bring in cardstock, like regular cardstock or specialty cardstock. You can emboss on the cardstock or stencil on the cardstock, or bring in pattern paper. In some of the cases for those like black, white, or gray layers, I did bring in some extra pattern paper. So it is totally up to you what you want to use for those. You don't even have to include them if you don't want to. You could just kind of make the card as with the pieces that you cut down with your cutting guides, and then just maybe add some embellishments to fill in some of that extra space. But most of my card mat layers are 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. All of the cards are A2 size, and I tend to prefer the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 because you can see it gives you just a little bit of a white border around, but it doesn't cover the whole card. And it's just kind of easier for me to kind of line up, and it doesn't leave a whole lot of white space. There are a few cases where I have gone down to 4 by 5 1/4 just because of the way the individual pieces line up on Kendra's sketches. So sometimes I needed to downsize so that it matched her measurements so that, I could kind of piece things together a little bit easier. And then as far as choosing embellishments, anytime she gives you a shape on the card sketch that was not part of the cutting guide, you do have some flexibility to change that up. So, if she calls for a circle, like this is sketch 3, she has a circle, kind of a focal point in the center that is a circle. If you don't have a way to get a circle, make it a square or put an embellishment there, a big sticker or a 3D embellishment or a piece of ephemera. Make it work for you. You have flexibility in all the sketches, but if you are submitting photos for opportunities to win prizes, your finished cards just need to be similar enough to the original sketches that they can be identified as, going with that sketch. But so you can play with the different shapes if you need to. On this particular one, there was the circle and the matting layer. I did that, but then I threw a piece of ephemera on there just to add kind of my embellishment, and then I'm including the sentiment in a separate spot. And when I don't really have a hard and fast rule for how I choose my ephemera. It's just kind of what I have available and what fits that particular sketch. So that is, I can't really, it changes from challenge to challenge, and it can change from card to card. So, and it can change from, this is my 4th set of KCC22 cards, and I'm sure it has changed every time, where I put the ephemera piece, the embellishment, or how I chose it, why I chose that particular shape. It's pretty much based on what I have available to embellish with. So hopefully that helps. Sorry I don't have a better rule for that one. But again, kind of work with what you have and make it work for you. I use a few stamp sets in the video, and then a coordinating die set in one case. So, and then some random dies that I don't even really have. I'm not even sure. Some of my basic shape dies I've had for so long, I'm not exactly sure where they came from. But whatever I have that I can find still available, I will link that for you in the description box below. I will also link the PDF, how to get the PDF if you don't already have that. I should have done this earlier, but if you are finding me, and this is the first time you've ever heard of Kendra's Card Challenges, every quarter, Cards by Kendra releases a PDF workbook that gives you cutting guides to help you take 6 by 6 sheets of pattern paper and turn them into 15 cards. And then she gives you the sketches that help you build those 15 cards. And it is free. It is free to download. You just have to sign up for a free Patreon membership. So it is a wonderful thing that she does. It's such a fun challenge, and it's a great way to build up your stash of cards and use up your stash of paper at the same time. So at this point, we're in June of 2026, which is the third month of this quarter. So this is the final month of Kendra's Card Challenge 22. Starting July 1st, we will have Kendra's Card Challenge 23 releasing. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's a fun challenge, and I'm always amazed at the different sketches Kendra can put together on the different ways to use, different pieces of pattern, 6 sheets of pattern paper. So if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. And my biggest tip to you for completing the challenge is just to keep yourself organized. I showed you at the very beginning of the video that I had some baggies with numbers on them that had pattern paper pieces in them, and that is how I keep myself organized. As I go through the cutting guides and cut down each sheet of the pattern paper, I put them into a baggie that has a number that corresponds to the card sketch that particular piece is going to go on. That way, when I come to assemble the cards, it's all together for me. All I have to do is add the matting layers and any sentiments or embellishments that I want to at that time. And if you have played along, I hope you enjoyed Kendra's Card Challenge 22 and that you are getting ready for Kendra's Card Challenge 23. At this point, I think I've told you everything I needed to. I do apologize. I think there were 2 cards where I thought I was filming and I wasn't. This was one of those times where I worked on them here and there over the course of like a week. And so I would have to stop and start. And a couple of those times I thought I hit record and I didn't. I think one of those times my memory card was full and somehow I didn't know, so it stopped recording. So I apologize. I do show you as much as I can from that card and then do show you the finished card. So apologies for that, but I am just going to set you to some music and let you enjoy the process or craft along if you'd like. And we'll check back in with you at the very end.
were days where we thought we wouldn't make it out, but we stuck it out. Today's our day. Today's our day. There were nights we would fight, no end in sight, nothing was right. Tonight's our night. Tonight's our night. I'll fight for you until this life is over. There's no giving up here, babe. We'll make it out and fall in love tonight. Ain't nothing needed but us feeling right. Just take a chance, we got a wild ride. Wait and see, you and me, we were meant to be. We were meant to be. We were meant to be. There were times when we found it, fell back in love, the best still to come. Our time is now. Our time is now. I'll fight for you until this life is over. There's no giving up here, babe. We'll make it out and fall in love tonight. Ain't nothing needed but us feeling right. Just take a chance, we got a wild ride. Wait and see, you and me, we were meant to be. We were meant to be. We were meant to be. We were meant to be.
last look at all 15 of the cards. I did take some of the scraps that I had left over and add them to the inside of each of the cards, so I don't have any scraps from those original 6x6 pieces that I cut down. Again, please be sure to check the description box for the links to products and the PDF of the KCC22. Thank you so much for your time, and hope you all have a very crafty day.